Greetings and salutations, comic book conversationalists. It's Comic Book Hangover once again with another weekly haul, weekly review video. This one may not be as long as the last couple that I've done, because I really didn't have a whole lot of books that I picked up last week that I can talk about. Let's just jump into it, all right? And the reason why, before I do that, the reason why this is a later video, just like last week, we had another situation where there was hospital visit for a couple of days, and I was working, I was taking care of little man, and it was crazy, tired, but we're still doing this video because that's what we do. All right, so again, this is going to be a short one because there's really not a whole lot that I want to talk about. I got this one here. This is Marauders. This is their second #1. Not one that was on my pull list. I won this one as part of a raffle that my LCS does every week. I did try to read it. I didn't read any of the first Marauders series, so I have no idea what's going on here. It's kind of interesting that Kitty Pryde is kind of drawn differently than all the other characters. She's drawn more cartoony anime style than the other characters are, and Bishop has apparently lost a lot of muscle mass over the years. Didn't even realize it was him until they said his name, and really most of the other characters, I have no idea who they are. They just, it's just kind of like a throwaway book for me, but it was, I appreciate my LCS, giving me the opportunity to win the book. I did try reading it, like I said, but it's one of those things, the people who wrote this clearly don't understand that if you're going to do a first issue, you might want to make it accessible to more people. I really don't like the idea of multiple first issues for a series, but if you're going to do it, try to make it accessible. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know who was who, and I wound up stopping. I put it down, and I didn't even finish reading it. But if it's a book that you like, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's just not for me, but I'm not really an X-Men fan. The next one is going to be part of the Charge to 100, Mighty Morphin number 18, with a nice full cover there for a change. This one picks up after the whole Altarian War. So they're trying, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are trying to find a new power chamber. They're trying to find a new headquarters, and they find one on another planet that's basically a water planet, and I kind of thought it was going to be the Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, but I don't think it is. And they're trying to find another base of operations, another Altarian base of operations that they can transport to Earth to take place of the one that was destroyed during the war. So that's basically what we got here. And then on the last page, we got a reveal of the next round of villains that we're going to be facing off against, or the Rangers are going to be facing off against. I could be wrong, but I believe that is the Machine Empire, the Machine King, or whatever it was called. The villains that took over after Zed and Rita had their run. So still a fun read, and still very much enjoying it. The last one from last week, like I said, it was a very small week, is this Image 30th Anniversary Anthology. It's a 12-issue maxi series, so it's going to go for an entire year, celebrating the 30th anniversary of Image Comics. Certainly a publisher that really changed the landscape of the industry 30 years ago, and in a lot of ways continues to do so today. So this here, we've got multiple creators. This is a pretty thick book. This is a pretty sizable book. But, we've got multiple creators here. Let's see here. Jeff Johns, Mirka Andolfo, one of my favorites. Kyle Higgins. Just some great stuff. The reason why I picked it up is because there's a Radiant Black series. Now, in the Radiant Black series, Radiant Black and Radiant Red, they have a villain in there called Shift. He was introduced in Radiant Red, and he has made an appearance in Radiant Black. This story in here, which I have no idea how many parts it's going to be, but this is basically the origin of Shift. So it's kind of weird how we're getting the origin of what they're building up to be a major villain for the Radiants in a completely separate book. So if you are reading the Radiant Red, Radiant Black, and Rogue Sun series, if you're into the the Radiant universe of characters, and you did not pick this up, you might want to grab this because, like I said, this is explaining the origin of the character Shift, and it's kind of an interesting way of doing it. They're kind of getting into in the Radiant books. There's these power cells that are recharged when they're near a Radiant, and they charge faster if the Radiants are using their abilities. That's kind of starts in here, so you're getting the backstory. And I mean, there's some other really great stories, and I wound up reading the whole thing. Usually with an anthology, and with an anthology like that, I'll start reading a story. Then a lot of times they're just you're gonna have your hits and misses. But in that one, I can't say if they do books for any of them that I will follow the books, but the short those segments that we get in here, there's some really interesting ideas, some really interesting concepts, some great creators, writers, and artists. I mean, it's a great package. I mean, this is not a cheap book. We're looking at, where the heck's the cover price? Yeah, it's $5.99, $6. So really overall not bad for what you're getting. And there's something for everybody in there. I was really surprised. I didn't even know Mirka Andolfo had a story in there, so I was really happy with that. Now I did pick up Noctera number 9. I'm not talking about that one this week because I have not read it. I have not read it because I just realized as I was looking through my books, I never picked up number 8. So my LCS is ordering issue 8 for me. So I may be talking about 2 issues next week on the video. But that covers everything that I've read so far this week. So before I get into the new books, as always, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following my videos here. I really appreciate everybody who watches me week in and week out. If you do enjoy what I'm doing and it's your first time watching my videos, or even if you watch my videos, subscribe, like. It doesn't take too long to do those 2 things. Comment, share the video, and all that fun stuff. I really appreciate the support. Moving on to the books that I picked up this week. Kind of another small week, and next week is going to be a small week as well. The 6th and final issue of Refrigerator Full of Heads. Wrapping up another great story. I really enjoyed Basket Full of Heads, and I'm really enjoying Refrigerator Full of Heads. Doctor Strange Nexus of Nightmares. This is a one-shot. I grabbed the regular cover. Both covers actually were really good on this, so it was kind of difficult. I didn't want to grab them both. Didn't see the need to have them both, but since I like them both really kind of equally, I just decided to go with the main cover. Just made it easier for me. Picked up the 2nd issue of Image's Slumber. I'm going to check this out. So I enjoyed the first issue, so what the heck, why not grab the 2nd issue and see if it stands up? So usually I like to give a book anywhere between 3 and 5 issues before I decide if I'm going to keep it or drop it. So first issue was a lot of fun. Hopefully it continues. Next up, Refrigerator Full of Heads. This is the variant cover. I didn't grab a lot of variants for this series. There wasn't a whole lot that was really interesting to me, but the whole idea of a shark's head strapped to the front of a truck as you're riding in the battle against your enemies just screams awesome on a few new levels, as well as all the traditional ones. So I absolutely love that cover. My little boy loves it too. He thinks it's pretty cool. And lastly, Power Rangers number 18, as we continue the charge to the 100th issue of Power Rangers comics from Boom Studios. So that's it. As I said, there really was not a whole lot to talk about this week. I wasn't able to read all my books, but I didn't, I had a couple of weeks where I had a lot of books, but now we're back into just a handful here and there. So for at least the time being, these 20-minute videos that I've been doing are going to be coming to an end. But yeah, that's it. We got us a less than 10-minute video this week, so that's pretty awesome. So again, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking out my videos. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that fun stuff, and I'll see everybody next week with another round of new comic books. See ya.